Hi, my name is Mark Gatter, and these videos are intended to help you pick out exactly the color schemes you want every time. I've been working in graphics for 40 years. I've been a freelance graphic designer for 30 years. I've been working with these three programs since they first came out. I'm an Adobe certified instructor, and I'm an Adobe certified expert in all three. I've also had 5 books published. That's published, not self-published, small difference. And I've got my own company, Tunnel Vision Ltd, and that is the website. And if you like these videos, please go to the website. Tell me what you think. You can also get to the full courses on Udemy and Skillshare through that. Anyway, that's it. Have fun. This is red. I know, stunning, isn't it? It's supposed to represent the red component of RGB, red, green, and blue. And so it's made of light. So I'm not trying to give you something that sort of looks like it's made of paint. It glows in the dark. And here it is with green. Now look at where they overlap. That's how you get yellow on a computer. You mix red and green. That's not going to work with paint, is it? You get a sort of muddy brown if you did it with paint. So light mixes in a totally different way to ink or pigment or toner. Now here's blue, the third component. So now we've got where the green and red combine, we've got yellow. Where red and blue combine, we've got magenta. Where blue and green combine, we've got cyan. Those are 3 of the 4 components of the 4-color printing process. Cyan, magenta, yellow, and black is the 4th. Now that's involved because you can't actually get black with cyan, magenta, and yellow, even if you mix them all together. You certainly won't get what you see here, which is white. But that's because here we're mixing light. And when one color overlays another, you've got the light source from both of them. You've got something brighter. And when all 3 combine, you've got white light. These 3 are a simplification of the rainbow that makes up white light. Now the printing process uses cyan and magenta and yellow. And if I show you the overlaps between them, now this time they're getting darker because this is what's known as a subtractive color scheme. RGB is called additive. I remember that in terms of each time you add a color, it's getting brighter. Whereas CMYK, each time you add a color, it's getting darker, and it's obscuring what's underneath it, the paper, more and more and more. Now here's a slightly different way of looking at these 3. This is a triangle, and I'd like you to imagine that at the top we've got red, bottom left we've got green, bottom right we've got blue light sources. So every color you can mix with red, green, and blue light will be in that triangle. Now this is not a scientifically accurate representation. You just have to bear with me. Of course, where they would mix in the middle, it's getting brighter and brighter and brighter, and so it would edge towards white. In the dead center, you would have white. And as explained, if you mix red and green light together, you get yellow. And red and blue gives you magenta, and green and blue gives you cyan. Now, if we're talking about cyan, magenta, and yellow, they'd mix to produce something darker towards the middle. Now, you wouldn't actually get the K of CMYK, which stands for key, incidentally, because borders and ruled lines and things like that are very often in black. And the black plate, therefore, sort of tells the others where to go, so it's known in print shops as the key color, and that's where we get the K from CMYK. If you mixed all these 3 colors together, you would not get black. You'd get something like this. On the left, you've got black. On the right, you've got a combination of cyan, magenta, and yellow at 100%. So it's very dark and muddy. It's certainly not white, but it's not black. I've added these triangles here so that we can see what's going on. So the small triangle, CMY, that's where all your printable colors live. And in the big triangle, that's where your visible colors live. So if you picked, let's say this blue, you want to do a nice blue in your layout, you pick that blue, you show it to the client is delighted, and so you send it to print. And when it prints, you can't print that color. It has to do this. It has to move to the closest possible color that you can print, and that's what you get. So it's going from this, which is RGB blue, to this, which is the CMYK closest possible match. Let me show you that again. There's RGB, there's CMYK. Traditionally, the biggest problem in printing is those aren't the right colors. And this is a fundamental reason why. Colors are being picked from outside the CMY space, and they've got to change in order to print. Now, what do you think the client's going to say? Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you do, please, as I said, go to this website address, tunnelvisionltd.co.uk. What do you got to lose?